Alright. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Forrest Holby here, and welcome back to another reading live stream. Now, before I begin, I'm gonna assume you guys are already taking notice about that right over here. So let's get the elephant out of the room. These are all the upcoming books that I got planned to read in the coming months, in the coming days for the first two that are way up here, and the months for all these books right down here at the bottom. Although, if I'm being honest with you, there was one book here that's in this midst that I am both interested to see how people react to me reading it, as well as just the book in general. But yeah, we'll get to that book when we get to it. Today, I'm reading Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. Now, I was finally able to watch the stream, and for some reason, uh, the stream did not want me to be heard from what people were telling me. So, I'm basically gonna try it again. And hopefully it works this time, because I was not very happy because two people was in the middle of the live stream. Two people were telling me, hey, just so you know, we can't really hear you, buddy. You're muted. So I'm actually seeing if anybody can hear me right now. I don't care who says anything. I just want to know if anybody can hear me before I read this book officially. Because I don't want to start the stream and then later find out, buddy, we can't hear you. You know? So, if anybody can hear me, hopefully people can. But, yeah, if somebody tells me they can't hear me, hopefully it'll work. Hopefully this will work, though. But if anybody cannot hear me, please let me know. Because I don't want to be too far into a book and then find out, I can't hear you. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to start all the way back to where we were at before, at chapter 15. Because of this, and we're going to read chapters 15 through 19. And we're going to say 20 through 22 for the final part. So, without further ado, let's begin. Chapter 15. A God buys us ham. Chapter 15. A God buys us cheeseburgers. The next afternoon, June 14th, 7 days before the solstice, our train rolled into Denver. We hadn't eaten since the night before in the dining cart, somewhere in Kansas. We hadn't taken a shower since Half-Blood Hill, and I was sure that was obvious. Let's try to contact Chirin, Annabeth said. I want to tell him about your talk with the river spirit. We can't use phones, right? I'm not talking about phones. We wandered through downtown for about half an hour, though I wasn't sure what Annabeth was looking for. The air was dry and hot, which felt weird after the humidity of St. Louis. Everywhere we turned, the Rocky Mountains seemed to be staring at me, like a tidal wave about to crash into the city. Finally, we found an empty do-it-yourself car wash. We veered toward the stall farthest from the street, keeping our eyes open for patrol cars. We were 3 adolescents hanging out in a car wash without a car. Any cop worth his donuts would figure we were up to no good. What exactly are we doing? I asked as Rover took out the spray gun. It's 75 cents, he rumbled. I've only got 2 quarters left. Annabeth? Don't look at me, she said. The dining car wiped me out. I fished out my last bit of change and passed Rover a quarter, which left me 2 nickels and 1 drachma from Medusa's place. Excellent, Rover said. We could do it with a spray bottle, of course, but the connection isn't as good, and my arm gets tired of pumping. What are you talking about? He filled in the quarters and set the knob fine mist. IMing. Instant messaging? Iris messaging, Annabeth corrected. The rainbow goddess, Iris, carries messages for the gods. If you know how to ask, and she's not too busy, she'll do the same for half-bloods. You summoned a goddess with a spray gun? Grover pointed the nozzle in the air, and water hissed out in a thick white mist. Unless you know an easier way to make a rainbow. Sure enough, late afternoon light filtered through the vapor and broke into colors. Annabeth held her palm out to me. Drachma, please? I handed it over. She raised the coin over her head. Oh, goddess, accept our offering. She threw the drachma into the rainbow. It disappeared in a golden shimmer. Half-Blood Hill, Annabeth requested. For a moment, nothing happened. Then I was looking through the mist at strawberry fields, and the Long Island Sound in the distance. We seemed to be on the porch of the big house. Standing with his back to us at the railing was a sandy-haired guy in shorts and an orange tank top. He was holding a bronze sword and seemed to be staring intently at something down in the meadow. Luke! I called. He turned, eyes wide. I could swear he was standing there 3 feet in front of me through a screen of mist, except I could only see the part of him that appeared in the rainbow. Percy! His scarred face broke into a grin. Is that Annabeth, too? Thank the gods! Are you guys okay? We're, fine, Annabeth stammered. She was madly straightening her dirty t-shirt, trying to comb the loose hair out of her face. We thought Sheeran, he's down at the cabin. Luke's smile faded. We're having some issues with the campers. Listen, is everything cool with you? Is Grover all right? I'm right here, Grover called. He held the nozzle out to one side and stepped into Luke's line of vision. What kind of issues? Just then a big Lincoln Continental pulled into the car wash with its stereo turned to maximum hip-hop. As the car slid into the next stall, the bass on the subwoofers related so much it shook the pavement. You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, because I know there are some things we can do here, let's do this. Just then, a big Lincoln. Hold on, let's make sure you guys can hear me. This should be non-copyrighted music, so I should be fine, hopefully. Anyway, going back to the scene and playing the hip-hop because of reasons. Just then, a big Lincoln Continental pulled into the car wash with its stereo turned to maximum hip-hop. As the car slid into the next stall, the bass from the subwoofers vibrated so much it shook the pavement. Jared had to... What's that noise? Luke yelled. I'll take care of it, Annabeth yelled back, looking very relieved to have an excuse to get out of sight. Grover, come on! What? Grover said. But give Percy the nozzle and come on, she ordered. Grover muttered something about girls being hard to understand and the oracle at Delphi. Then he handed me the spray gun and followed Annabeth. I readjusted the hose so I could keep the rainbow going and still see Luke. Sure not to break up a fight, Luke shouted to me over the noise. Things are pretty tense here, Percy. Word leaked out about the Zeus Poseidon standoff. We're still not sure how. Probably the same scumbag who summoned the Hellhound. Now the campers are starting to take sides. It's shaping up like the Trojan War all over again. Aphrodite, Ares, and Apollo are backing Poseidon, more or less. Athena is backing Zeus. I shuddered to think that Clarissa's cabin would ever be on my dad's side for anything. In the next stall, I heard Annabeth and some guy arguing with each other. Then the music's volume decreased drastically. He did say drastically, so we're lowering it drastically. So what's your status? Luke asked me. Jared will be sorry he missed you. I told him pretty much everything, including my dreams. It felt so good to see him, to feel like I was back at camp even for a few minutes. Then I didn't realize how long I had talked until the beeper went off on the spray machine, and I realized I only had one more minute before the water shut off. I wish I could be there, Luke told me. We can't help much from here, I'm afraid. But listen, it had to be Hades who took the Master Bolt. He was there at Olympus at the winter solstice. I was chaperoning a field trip and we saw him. But Jared said the gods can't take each other's magic items directly. That's true, Luke said, looking troubled. Still, Hades has the Helm of Darkness. How could anybody sneak into the throne room and steal the Master Bolt? You'd have to be invisible. We were both silent until Luke seemed to realize what he'd said. Oh, hey, he protested. I didn't mean Annabeth. She and I have known each other forever. She would never. I mean, she's like a little sister to me. I wondered if Annabeth would like that description. In the stall next to us, the music stopped completely, and a man screamed in terror. Car doors slammed, and the Lincoln peeled out of the car wash. You better go see what that was, Luke said. Listen, are you wearing the flying shoes? I'd feel better if I know they've done you some good. Oh, yeah. I tried not to sound like a guilty liar. Yeah, they've come in handy. Really? He grinned. They fit in everything? The water shut off. The mist started to evaporate. Well, take care of yourself out there in Denver, Luke called, his voice getting fainter. And tell Grover it'll be better this time. Nobody will get turned into a pine tree if you just... But the mist was gone, and Luke's image faded to nothing. I was alone in a wet, empty car wash stall. Annabeth and Grover came around the corner, laughing, but stopped when they saw my face. Annabeth's smile faded. What happened, Percy? What did Luke say? Not much, I lied, my stomach feeling as empty as a Big 3 cabin. Come on, let's find some dinner. A few minutes later, we were sitting at a booth in a gleaming chrome diner. So that means we're gonna play some music, because usually diners sometimes have music. Oh, I should put my phone right here in my lap. All around us, families were eating burgers and drinking malts and sodas. Finally, the waitress came over. She raised her eyebrows skeptically. Well, I said, we want to order dinner. You kids have money to pay for it? Grover's lower lip quivered. I was afraid he would start bleeding, or worse, start eating the linoleum. Annabeth looked ready to pass out from hunger. I was trying to think of a sob story for the waitress when a rumble shook the whole building. A motorcycle the size of a baby elephant had pulled up to the curb. All conversation in the diner stopped. The motorcycle headlight glared red. Its gas tank had flames painted on it, and a shotgun holster riveted to either side, complete with shotguns. The seat was leather, but leather that looked like, well, Caucasian skin. The guy on the bike would have made pro wrestlers run for mama. He was dressed in a red muscle shirt and black jeans and a black leather duster with a hunting knife strapped to his thigh. He wore red wraparound shades and he had the cruelest, most brutal face I'd ever seen. Handsome, I guess, but wicked, with an oily black crew cut and cheeks that were scarred from many, many fights. The weird thing was, it felt like I'd seen his face somewhere before. As he walked into the diner, a hot, dry wind blew through the place. All the people rose as if they were hypnotized, but the biker waved his hand dismissively, and they all sat down again. Everybody went back to their conversation. The waitress blinked as if somebody had just pressed the rewind button on her brain. She asked us again, "You got some money to pay for it?" The biker said, "It's on me." He slid into our booth, which was way too small for him, and crowded Annabeth against the window. He looked up at the waitress, who was gaping at him, and said, "Are you still here? Are you still here?" He pointed at her and she stiffened. She turned as if she'd been spun around, then marched back toward the kitchen. The biker looked at me. I couldn't see his eyes behind the red shades, but bad feelings started boiling in my stomach. Anger, resentment, bitterness. I wanted to hit a wall. I wanted to pick a fight with somebody. Who did this guy think he was? He gave me a wicked grin. "So, you're old Seaweed's kid, huh? I should have been surprised or scared, but instead I felt like I was looking at my stepdad, Gabe. I wanted to rip this guy's head off. "What's it to you?" Annabeth's eyes flashed me a warning. "Percy, this is..." The biker raised his hand. "It's okay," he said. "I don't mind a little attitude, long as you remember who's the boss. You know who I am, little cousin?" Then it struck me why this guy looked familiar. He had the same vicious sneer as some of the kids at Camp Half-Blood, the ones from Cabin 5. "You're Clarissa's dad," I said. "Ares, god of war." Ares grinned and took off his shades. Where his eyes should have been, there was only fire. Empty sockets glowing with miniature nuclear explosions. "That's right, punk. I heard you broke Clarissa's spear." "She was asking for it." "Probably. That's cool. I don't fight my kids' fights, you know. What I'm here for, I heard you were in town. I got a little proposition for you." The waitress came back with heaping trays of food. Cheeseburgers, fries, onion rings, and chocolate shakes. Ares handed her a few gold drachmas. She looked nervously at the coins. "But these aren't..." Ares pulled out his huge knife and started cleaning his fingernails. "Problem, sweetheart?" The waitress swallowed, then left with the gold. "You can't do that," I told Ares. "You can't just threaten people with a knife." Ares laughed. "Are you kidding? I love this country. Best place since Sparta. Don't you carry a weapon, punk? You should. Dangerous world out there. Which brings me to my proposition. I need you to do me a favor." "What favor could I do for a god?" "Something a god doesn't have time to do himself? It's nothing much. I left my shield at an abandoned water park here in town. I was going on a little date with my girlfriend. We were interrupted. I left my shield behind. I want you to fetch it for me." "Why don't you go back and get it yourself?" The fire in his eye sockets glowed a little hotter. "Why did I turn you into a prairie dog and run you over with my Harley? Because I don't feel like it. A god is giving you an opportunity to prove yourself, Percy Jackson. Will you prove yourself a coward?" He leaned forward. Or maybe you only fight when there's a river to dive into so your daddy can protect you." I wanted to punch this guy, but somehow I knew he was waiting for that. Ares' power was causing my anger. He'd love if I attacked. I didn't want to give him the satisfaction. "We're not interested," I said. "We've already got a quest." Ares' fiery eyes made me see things I didn't want to see. Blood and smoke and corpses on the battlefield. "I know all about your quest, punk. When that item was first stolen, Zeus sent his best out looking for it. Apollo, Athena, Artemis, and me, naturally. If I could sniff out a weapon that powerful, if I couldn't sniff out a weapon that powerful, he licked his lips as if the very thought of the Master Bolt made him hungry. Well, if I couldn't find it, you got no hope. Nevertheless, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Your dad and I go way back. After all, I'm the one who told him my suspicions about old corpse breath. You told him Hades stole the bolt? Sure, framing somebody to start a war. Oldest trick in the book. I recognized it immediately. In a way, you got me to thank for your little quest. Thanks, I grumbled. Hey, I'm a generous guy. Just do my little job, and I'll help you on your way. I'll arrange a ride west for you and your friends. We're doing fine on our own. Yeah, right. No money, no wheels, no clue what you're up against. Help me out, and maybe I'll tell you something you need to know. Something about your mom. My mom? He grinned. That got your attention. The water park is a mile west on Delancey. You can't miss it. Look for the Tunnel of Love ride. What interrupted your date, I asked. Somebody scare you off? Ares bared his teeth, but I'd seen his threatening look before in Clarissa. There was something false about it, almost like he was nervous. You're lucky you're not me, punk, and not one of the other Olympians. They're not as forgiving of rudeness as I am. I'll meet you back here when you're done. Don't disappoint me. After that, I must have fainted or fallen into a trance, because when I opened my eyes again, Ares was gone. I might have thought the conversation had been a dream, but Annabeth and Rover's expressions told me otherwise. No good, Rover said. All right, Ares sought you out, Percy. This is not good. I stared out the window. The motorcycle had disappeared. Did Ares really know something about my mother, or was he just playing with me? Now that he was gone, all the anger had strained out of me. I realized Ares must love to nurse and mess with these people's psyche. Emotions. That was his father. Cranking up by the ladder. This is his power. Cranking up the passion so badly, they doubled your salary to think. Let's probably get some work. Let's probably get some kite out here, I said. Forget Ares. Let's just go. We can't, Annabeth said. Look, I hate Annabeth as much as anybody, but you don't have to ignore the goats unless you are serious bad some form. Now, with that, let's see. One serious bad fortune. He wasn't kidding when he talked about core. He wasn't kidding. Let's see. We can't, Annabeth said. Look, I hate Ares as much as anybody, but you shouldn't ignore the God's rules under your weapons master. He wasn't kidding about turning you into a rodent. I looked down at my cheese fingers, which absolutely didn't seem so appetizing. Why does this have to hurt too? Maybe it's a problematic that the symptoms requires. Bruises, Annabeth said. Ares has strength. That's silk all he has. Rome carries the mascot bot Yep. There you go. Ares had strength. That's all he has. enough strength to carry blow to a wisdom ceremoniously. Or sometimes. Yeah, I did it again. Last two paragraphs on page 229. I looked in. Wait a minute. Yeah, we'll just read that very last bit, the last two paragraphs on 229. I looked down at my cheeseburger, which suddenly didn't seem so appetizing. Why does he need us? Because it's a problem that requires brains, Annabeth said. Aries has strength. That's all he has. Even strength has to know to wisdom sometimes. But the water park, he acted almost scared. What would make a great war god run away like that? Annabeth and Rover glanced nervous at each other. Come on, I said. I'm afraid we'll have to find out. The sun was sinking behind the momentum by the time we found the paperwork. Judging from the signs, it was once been called Waterland, but now some of the letters were smashed out to rename it Watt A and B. This was a sun periodically changing and talking with fellow wage lineups, catching back images, back. So the first one, don't do with your cousin. Second one, be careful what you're doing. And third one, don't really lose that. Let's see here. The sun was stoking behind the mountain by the time we found the next water park. Judging from the sign, it once had been called Waterland, but now some of the letters were snapped out. That left the President-elect Grover. Let's see. One was the risking behind the superintendent, Conrad Conroy. Princess Dawn. Let's see here. Yes, okay, alright. Doesn't hurt to stretch sometimes, you know? Never hurts to stretch. I want to check something out while I'm doing that. By the way, I'm pretty sure by now they've already left the diner, so I'll stop playing that music. I will stop playing that music because I'm pretty sure either A, people don't like it, B, they probably can't hear me over it, or C, Both A or B. But yeah, I'll be playing it if people can still hear me over that music being played. I'll play it one more time when they're in the diner, because I know they're gonna. Because if you played it, we all know what's gonna happen there. Oh no! I'm actually looking at. I'm not. I'm looking at something here. Looking at some stuff, which is why I'm kind of playing it back behind the screen, so you guys can't hear it. And I just noticed somebody just now is starting to react to a certain show that I had that I thought was really good in season 2 and 3. 1 was okay, but 4 was terrible. That being somebody has made a video reacting to Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Actually, now that I think about it, they say they're in a diner. So let me actually see if they got diner music, actually. I'm still going to play it when we get back to the diner. I'm not going to replay that diner moment just for the sake of the music. Yeah. It's still the same. Yeah, it's still the same. Anyway. Actually, I got the perfect one here, actually. They got non-copyrighted music for everything! They even got carnival music. Yes, we are playing these are supposedly non-copyrighted music, so they should still work. The sun was sinking behind the mountains by the time we found the water park. Judging from the sign, it once had been called Waterland, but now some of the letters were smashed out, so it read, What are Ed? The main gate was padlocked and topped with barbed wire. Inside, huge dry water slides and tubes and pipes curled everywhere, leading to empty pools. Old tickets and advertisements flying around the asphalt. With night coming on, the place looked sad and creepy. If Aries brings his girlfriend here for a date, I said, staring up at the barbed wire, I'd hate to see what she looks like. Percy, Annabeth warned. Be more respectful. Why? I thought you hated Aries. I thought you hated Aries. He's still a god, and his girlfriend is very temperamental. You don't want to insult her looks, Grover added. Who is she? Echidna? No, Aphrodite. No, Aphrodite, Grover said, a little dreamily. Goddess of love. I thought she was married to somebody, I said. Hephaestus. What's your point, he asked. Okay. I suddenly felt the need to change the subject. So how do we get in? Maya! Grover's shoes sprouted wings. He flew over the fence, did an unintended somersault in midair, then stumbled to a landing on the opposite side. He dusted off his jeans as if he'd planned the whole thing. You guys coming? Annabeth and I had to climb the old-fashioned way, holding down the barbed wire for each other as we crawled over the top. Apparently people just like the fact that I'm playing music as I'm reading, kind of making it, love this book. Hello, NASA Jess, how you doing tonight? Everybody's coming in today. I think it's also because of what time it is, and it's more in the middle of the day. But it's also because I had yesterday, today, and I'm going to have tomorrow off. So I'll be able to read a bit more in the middle of the day for today and tomorrow. Going back to the book, the shadows grew long as we walked through the park, checking out the attractions. There was Ankle Biter Island, Head Over Wedgie, and Dude, Where's My Swimsuit? No monsters came to get us. Nothing made the slightest noise. We outside the music being played, but that's beside the point. We found a souvenir shop that had been left open. Merchandise still lined the shelves. Snow globes, pencils, postcards, and racks of clothes, Annabeth said. Fresh clothes. Yeah, I said. But you can't just watch me. She snatched an entire row of stuff on the racks and disappeared into the changing room. A few minutes later, she came out in Waterland flower print shorts, a big red Waterland t-shirt, and commemorative Waterland surf shoot. You know what? Where are my manners, actually? Hold on. Where are my manners? Hello. So now suggest I did say hello, but I also want to ask, how are you doing today? And, Kelsey Walker. Loving this. I'm on the 4th book right now. So you would be on, this one. Right? Oh yeah, did I forget to mention I bought all 5 books at Walmart because they had them in a collection sort of deal, so there's that. Yeah, so you'd be on the Battle of the Labyrinth, which I will get to eventually. But because I do have this book nearly under wraps, if I can actually get this to fit here, I do have the second book, I believe, right here. Yeah, the second book right here. I believe it should be this one. Because I'm already near the end of this one, I got this second book already put right here in this pile. So that way you guys know it's coming, okay? And I know you guys are still thinking, what the hell is with this line of... But these are all the books that I'm planning on reading for the coming months. The ones at the very top... no worries, Kelsey. It is what it is. Let me show you. These books up top here, these are the ones that are going to be after I read these 3 that are going to be upcoming here. Yeah. So we got the Series of Unfortunate Events, Book 1. Got Star Wars and Captain's Courageous. And then... Oh, I got so many books. Hold on. I just dropped my remote. Hold on. I got just these books right over here, and you can't see them, but I got these books right over here, right there behind that door, and because obviously I can't open this one, they're right behind this door here, and right below these books too. And they're down here. You can't see it. Let me show you. And there's some behind this door too. Yes, that is a lot. I always make the joke that I have a mini library of books. That's why I made it to where I'm actually reading every book that I have. And if people are actually more interested in me reading books with music, I might actually read the books that I read beforehand. And yeah, what's my favorite book? Let's narrow it down. Which genre of books Let me put it to you this way. I can't say my top favorite book because, of course, it's going to change over time. But I would say currently it's a tie between Jurassic Park. The tie between Jurassic Park for its horror, um, for its horror elements that are so much more creepy, so much more scary, so much more more violent, actually, in compared to the movie. Like, if you thought the movie was kind of scary, throw that out the window, and this book will be your new scary thing about about it. Because there are so many differences between those two things that I got there. I got so many. Oh, dude. You want to know how many I got? Let me show you. Hold on a second here. I can't. You guys probably won't be able. So currently, I did take a look. I currently have almost 350 books. As far as completed books go, not books that are missing pages. Because I'm not reading books with missing pages in them. Nope, not gonna happen. They have to be very much complete for me to read them. Yes, that's a whole mini library. I told you I got a whole mini library. To me, that's not a library. A library has thousands of books. If you want a library, look up Creepypasta Wiki. That's a library of books. Well, a library of stories, but still. Um, but yeah, I got a lot of. But funnily enough, when I was a kid, I wasn't really into reading. But they would do these things that say, okay, if you read these books and you get this done, these are your prizes. It was a thing called accelerated reading. And they did this thing where they did a point system where if you read enough books, you could do this. And at one point, I really wanted to go to the rollaway skating rink because I was one of the prizes one time, and I was like, I want to do this. So I started reading books, and that's how it started, basically. And then I was like, I did not even realize how good books were until I read them, and now I'm like, there you go. But if I had to say my top 5 favorite books, because I did start reading these books, I would say my top 5 favorites right now are, in no particular order, Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. And yes, I do have Jurassic Park The Lost World right here. By the way, I think that's the one, right? Yeah. This one right here is The Lost World Jurassic Park. So yeah, you know that's coming. Um, but yeah, I read Jurassic Park, Her Perfect Family by Teresa Driscoll, which is one of my favorite, easily my top favorite, easily one of my top favorites of the suspense mystery genre. Number 3, I would have to go with The Teenager's Guide to Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Awesomeness. With the Teenage Guide to World Domination, Advice on Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Awesomeness. Because holy crap, one part of that book gave me over 1,000 views. Oh, where is it? There it is. I gotta try to be careful not to drop my books here. You mean this one? Yes, I am going to be reading that. I am going to be reading that soon. Don't worry. Oh yeah, here's another book I'm looking forward to reading too, because it's another great mystery book that I like so much reading. Yes, I enjoy a good mystery book. Yes. You probably name it. You name it. I may or may not have it. Oh, I need to fix my thing here. Oh, my thing's going down. Okay, it's good now. Yeah, you name it. I probably got it. Heartstopper. She's already like, stop, no way. I got the first one. I'm still trying to get number 2. I have read this and I'm getting number 2 now. And while we're on the topic, I got this book too because they were both at Walmart. Yes. As I said, you name it, I probably have it. Oh, number 4, now that I'm seeing it here, this one. I love this horror book. It's one of my favorite books ever. Easily, it's literally like the writing of Stephen King with this book. I love it. Ah, phone's ringing. Who's calling me? I gotta mute real quick. Hold on a second. Yeah, somebody had to ruin the fun. Alright, guys. I'm needed outside right now. Family member needs my help. So, I'm not gonna end the stream yet. I'm gonna have to mute the mic so you guys don't get bored. Actually, I'll put on some music so that way, some copyright-free music so you guys can, so you guys don't get bored while I'm gone. I'm not doing like elevator music, no. That shit sucks. So, we're gonna go back to playing some, actually we're gonna skip to the next song since this one's over. So I'll play some music for you guys so you guys don't get bored. And of course it's a happy song involving animals. Okay, fine. See you guys in a minute. What the hell kind of what the hell kind of YouTube-esque music was that? Okay then. Alright. Everyone's like, he's back! Oh my god! Alright, alright, we got a lot of chat to catch up on. Let's do this. Alright, let's take a look here. Oh my god, I got a lot of, got a lot of chat to catch up on. Hold on a second. Let's see here. God, man, everybody was typing something just to pass the time. That's nice. Let's see here. Just say on I am. What's your opinions on algebra? I did see that comment from Kelsey. What's my opinions on algebra? I'm not really a math person, but if you like algebra, you like it. I'm just not much of a math person. Let's see. Have you ever read any books like Girls Like in Pieces? Like that one that she was talking about earlier? Yes. And she was like, yes! That's such a good book! Oh, no way! She's read that too! I haven't read the book yet, but I'm going to be reading it. So there's that. Read that while it's on my shelf. Heartstopper, referring to another book that I have. This music be the vibe. What are you doing? Nothing. Nothing. Summer can't join. She has no channel and she can't do it. It's music. Very sad. I love Percy Jackson. That's why I clicked on the video. I'm starting to like Percy Jackson myself. That's why I got the whole series of that. So, how's life? I clicked on because I got told to. I clicked on because I was told to. Who told you to click on it? Because I know I sure didn't. Let's see, how's life? Bad. I hope life gets better for you. Jess, I hope life gets better for you. Going all right for Kelsey. That's good to hear. Kelsey Summer trying to join. We can vibe to the music all together. Mario, I'm away to the library to put Titan's Curse back there because I'm gonna wear my new shoes. Nice. Real! Goat! Eyes! Emoji. And you see my hearts. Emoji. Summary. Say, hey, baddies! And, man, Summer being the life of the party here. I adore this guy's YouTube. I always watch it. Well, I appreciate that, Summer. Thank you. He's got so many books, like 350 almost, to be exact. Me too, babes. You guys understand what you guys type, I'm going to be seeing, right? Always remember that. See, lol, I bet he hasn't got Tracy Beaker. Tracy Beaker. I'm going to assume that's an author. Fourth woman, do you have the book? The book Tracy Beaker. I do not actually. She's such a huge part of childhood. Who is that? It's my all-time fave. Tracy, did you just say? How do you not know no Tracy? Yep, I grew up with Dr. Seuss. Same here. Ignore my inability to spell. Anyone gotta go? YouTube, no. I wanted to come back and see Summer. Summer with emojis. Everybody's like, come back. And then we got Sergeant Peanut Butter in the house. Anyway, where is he? So many question marks. Just for the record, I don't do spam, but I'll cut it some slack here because it happened while I was away. Want to see a family member or something? Yes, I did. Yo, what up? He's back. I just want to say I'm your biggest fan. Have you got Tracy Breaker? I already said that. I love Matt's. Yo, let's get this dude to 1K. Jacqueline Wilson is the author. Be right back. Okay, yeah, I don't think I have that book. That's one book that's one book I can say I do not have, but if it is requested, I might get it. Because somebody the other day requested, I read some books based on that Halo video game series. Oh yeah, I got this hat too. Don't mind it. Don't mind the hat. Yeah, I'm finally back. Took long enough. How was your time away? It was good. My family member brought home some groceries, so I had to help bring it up, put them away, and then they needed me to get their pop that they left in the car for them. So I went and got that, and then there you go. You should get the if. I don't have the. I know what you're referring to. I do know what you're referring to. You're referring to the books based on the series. But let me see, where is it? This right here. This book that I'm pointing at right here. The one that I'm touching. That's the book based on the movie. This one right here. I wanted it so badly when I first seen it at Walmart, but I didn't have the money, and then I bought it off Amazon. And so now it is here in my possession. That right there is based on the movie. But I know they also have those books and graphic novels based on the video games alongside the book based on the movie based on the video game. Anybody else want to keep? Are we gonna keep playing the game of name this book and I say if I have it or not? Because I can keep playing that game all day. Do I like Macbeth? I have not read that. I know it's a Shakespeare book. It's a piece of work by Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. But it has been so long since I last seen it or read it that I don't even know. That I don't know if I would like it or not. But I do remember one line that was said by a character. There was a character on Star Trek: The Next Generation played by an actor who was more well known for being a Shakespearean actor. Yes, I do. Some other people can attest to that. Actually, I actually do have it. It is right here. You can just barely see it, but it's right here. Yes, I do have it. I do have it, and I plan on reading it soon. Don't worry. How soon? Depends on how soon I get all these other books read that are lined on top of it. But yeah, I got that book as well. Mm-hmm. Anything else? I can keep playing this game all day. But I'm sure many people want me to read this book as well, so we're gonna, let's see, it's popular today. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it, because they had it at Walmart for, I think when I bought it at Walmart, I think it was like somewhere between $10 to $15. I think it was like about $12, I think. Trials of Apollo. I do not. What are your opinions on global warmings? Your opinions on global warmings. Well, global warming, I don't know too much about it to say anything, and I'm not going to act like an expert on something I don't know too much about. And I realize my door up here on this one is still open, but I'll close it later, because I'm not going to go crazy on that right now. You got a book to read. So, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna go back to reading this book real quick. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, getting caught up on chat, seeing all kinds of stuff, reading all kinds of things, and we passed the 10 likes mark. Right there, what page are you on, Lightning Thief? I am on page 231. I don't know if do you know about this author, Summer Walker? The name does not ring a bell. Singer, sorry. No, that name does not ring a bell. If it is a copyright free artist, I might play some of that music. But if it is a copyrighted music, I'm trying to stay away from the copyrighted stuff, because I'm starting to think about. I'm starting to think about maybe it might be a good idea to play music based on based on on the setting that we're in right here, right now, or at least something close that could be done with that. You know, she's just self promoting. Ah, self promoting. Okay. Okay. Generally, for the sake of fairness, I will point out that I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I will take a listen to this Summer Walker. But if this is self promotion, I ask that you do not do that on the grounds that most streamers. It's like a rule of thumb, really. Most streamers don't like it when you self promote in their channel because it does take attention away from their content in a way. So yeah, just kind of not delve into that. If I like the music, I don't mind shouting people out with the music. But yeah, that's just something here. Where am I based? I would just say the United States. Based on my accent being more American than anything else, I will say the United States. But I'm not going to say where in the United States I am living in. And I'm not even going to make any hints toward it either. I'm just going to say I live in the sometimes good old US of A, and that's that. I say sometimes because there are moments where our country doesn't have the best days, or our government makes us a laughing stock, depending on who we're talking about and what they've done. But yeah. Anyway, I'm in the UK. Truthfully, I always feel like the people in the UK are much more sophisticated than Americans. I'm being honest when I say that. I feel like the British people are more sophisticated than the American people, but I'm pretty sure they still have their moments of being more fun and having good times and good fun with other people, depending on who we're talking about, of course. But that's beside the point. All right, so we're gonna get back into the book, cause yeah, real says Summer. Yep, very real. So anyway, so Annabeth notices some. So to catch things up here, I have go needle. I meant. Are you saying you have to go to bed, or is that what you're saying? Because the broken English is making me think of that, and I don't want to make assumptions. Because we all know what the old saying for assumptions are: makes an ass out of you and me, and I don't like making an ass out of myself. All right, so we're gonna get back into this book. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you have to go to bed somewhere, I wish you a good night, good tomorrow. Just have a good day tomorrow. Hope you had a good day today. And if you didn't, I hope tomorrow's a better day for you. I have to go to sleep now because we are going Alton Towers tomorrow. Well, I give you the same message I gave to Summer, Kelsey. Have a good rest of your night. Have a good sleep. Hope your day was good. Hope tomorrow is even better if your day was not good today. Yeah. Good night, Forrest Hopeful. Have a good rest of your night. And can I and now I'll go back to reading. I would not be surprised if they're gonna have me be like like that like how parents would read stories to their kids before they go to bed. I'm gonna be that parent to these two right now. That I'm just gonna be that person that reads stories to them. Give me an inspirational quote before I have to go. Ah, I actually have a book for this. I actually have a good book for this. What's today? What's today, actually? Let me see what today is here. Today is May 16th. We're gonna go to the quote that's, Let's see here. Let's find a good quote in this one book that has some quotes in it. Let's see here. Because there is actually a quote in here that I remember. That I remember being in here that I really liked hearing. What was this one? Yeah, I'm trying to find a good one. Where is it? I know a good quote, I just need to find it. That wasn't a good quote, but I like something better here. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I understand. Don't start. Don't start. I know what you're saying. Yeah. But I'm not getting in trouble for saying the song's title or lyric. Where is it? Yeah, I'm trying so hard to find a good quote. That might be a good one. Let me find something else just in case. Yeah, I can find a good one. I'm just trying so. How ironic that you got a quote from Charlie Brown and even a quote from Yoda in here. Yeah, there it is right there, actually. The quote from Yoda. Yeah, so here's a quote from here's a quote from Maya Angelou. This is on March 5th of this book here. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Don't complain. Maya Angelou. There was another one, but I can't remember where it was at. Where was it? There was another Maya Angelou quote in here that I very much liked reading. And I even did it when they did the quote of the day at my school. But if you want the one for today, today's May 16th. So for May 16th, they say here, right here. Let's see here. Are you fascinated? Are you spending a lot of time daydreaming? Are you still coming up with excuses about why you haven't taken action? Or have you decided that you're not going to stay in the place where you are for one more minute? It's asking that in a, not in a physical sense, but in a more, like where you are, uh, not physically, but, what's the word I'm looking for? I would say spiritually, but that's not, but I don't know if that's a good word for it. But yeah, it's asking it on a more, um, like not physical, but more spiritual or something like that, on that kind of level. And where you are mentally, that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, like it's asking if that's if where you are in a mental on a mental level, not in a physical level. And some people have good mentalities, others are having not so good mentality, and others are just in the middle. That's that's just how people can be at times. Not the best quote, not the best inspirational quote, but I think it works. Alright. Getting back to this book that has been waiting for me. It's literally been calling my name the whole time, waiting for me to read it. I don't even need to hear the book saying anything, and I know books don't speak, but I'm pretty sure if it could, it's been saying, Forrest! When are you gonna read me? I'm reading you right now, book. Don't worry. I'm reading you now, Percy Jackson. Calm down, buddy. Alright. So, let's turn this down because I know that's going to be loud. Alright, let's do this. I'm going to turn that up a little bit more. But a bit of a recap in case people forgot which part of the book we're in. This is after Annabeth finds codes in the water park that they are currently in, trying to find Ares' shield. And she notices some codes. Percy's trying to tell her, trying to say she can't just steal clothes, and she interrupts him by saying, just watch me. And now we're about to see what she can do. That's where we're at in the book. She snatched an entire row of stuff off of the racks and disappeared into the changing room. Well, let me make sure. A few minutes later, she came out in Waterland flower print shorts, a big red Waterland t-shirt, and commemorative Waterland surf shoes. A Waterland backpack was slung over her shoulder, obviously stuffed with more goodies. What the heck? Grover shrugged. Soon all three of us were decked out like walking advertisements for the defunct theme park. We continued searching for the Tunnel of Love. I got the feeling that the whole park was holding its breath. So, Ares and Aphrodite. I said, to keep my mind off the growing dark. They have a thing. They have a thing going. That's old gossip, Percy. Annabeth told me. 3,000-year-old gossip. What about Aphrodite's husband? Well, you know, she said, Hephaestus, the blacksmith. He was crippled when he was a baby, thrown off Mount Olympus by Zeus, so he isn't exactly handsome. Clever with his hands and all, but Aphrodite isn't into brains and talent, you know? She likes bikers. Whatever. Hephaestus knows? Oh, sure, Annabeth said. He caught them together once. I mean, literally caught them in a golden net and invited all the gods to come and laugh at them. Hephaestus is always trying to embarrass them. That's why they meet in out-of-the-way places like... She stopped, looking straight ahead. Like that. In front of us was an empty pool that would have been awesome for skateboarding. It was at least 50 yards across and shaped like a bowl. Around the rim, a dozen bronze statues of Cupid stood guard, with wings spread and bows ready to fire. On the opposite side of us, a tunnel opened up, probably where the water flowed into where the pool was full. The sign above it read, Thrill Ride of Love. This is not your parents' tunnel of love. Grover crept toward the edge. Guys, look! Marooned at the bottom of the pool was a pink and white two-seater boat with a canopy over the top and little hearts painted all over it. In the left seat, glinting in the faded light, was Ares' shield, a polished circle of bronze. This is too easy, I said. So we just walk down there and get it? Annabeth ran her fingers across along the base of the nearest Cupid statue. There's a Greek letter carved here, she said. Eta. I wonder. Grover, I said. You smell any monsters? He sniffed the wind. Nothing. Nothing. Like, nothing. Like, in the arch and you didn't smell a chin of nothing or really nothing. Grover looked hurt. I told you that was underground. Okay, I'm sorry. I took a deep breath. I'm going down there. I'll go with you. Grover didn't sound too enthusiastic, but I got the feeling he was trying to make up for what had happened in St. Louis. No, I told him. I want you to stay up top with the flying shoes. You're the Red Baron, a flying ace, remember? I'll be counting on you for backup in case something goes wrong. Grover puffed up his chest a little. Sure, but what could go wrong? I don't know. Just a feeling. Annabeth, come with me. Are you kidding? She looked at me as if I just dropped from the moon. Her cheeks were bright red. What's the problem now? I demanded. Me go with you to the thrill ride of love? How embarrassing is that? What if somebody saw me? Who's going to see you? Who's going to see you? But my face was burning now, too. This is the books, ain't it? Not me. Leave it to a girl to make everything complicated. And if anybody doesn't believe me, look, it says it right there in the book there. See? It says it right there in the book. I got proof. So now no woman can come at me and be like, how dare you say that? Well, it's in the book. I just showed it to you. Fine, I told her. I'll do it myself. But when I started down the side of the pool, she followed me, muttering about how boys always mess things up. No, we fucking don't, but okay then. Hey, we all have things where we all somehow mess things up. She just wants to blame it on Percy because how dare he say this one thing, and she jumping to conclusions. This girl. Anyway, we watched the boat. The shield was propped on one seat, and next to it was a lady's silk scarf. I'm picking the music because of what's about to happen here to fit with the scene. There we go. Alright. We reached the boat. The shield was propped on one seat, and next to it was a lady's silk scarf. I tried to imagine Ares and Aphrodite here, a couple of gods meeting in a junked-out amusement park ride. Why? Then I noticed something I hadn't seen from up top. Mirrors all the way around the rim of the pool, facing the spot. We could see ourselves no matter which direction we looked. That must be it. While Ares and Aphrodite were smooching with each other, they could look at their favorite people, themselves. I picked up the scarf. It shimmered pink, and the perfume was indescribable. Rose or mountain laurel. Something good. I smiled, a little dreamy, and was about to rub the scarf against my cheek when Annabeth ripped it out of my hand and stuffed it in her pocket. Oh, no you don't. Stay away from that love magic. Why? Just get the shield, Sealy Brain, and let's get out of here. The moment I touched the shield, I knew we were in trouble. My hand broke through something that had been connected and that had been connecting it to the dashboard. A cobweb, I thought, but then I looked at a strand of it on my palm and saw it was some kind of metal filament, so fine it was almost invisible. A tripwire. Wait, Annabeth said. Too late. There's another Greek letter on the side of the boat. Another Etta. This is a trap. Noise erupted all around us of a million gears grinding, as if the whole pool were turning into one giant machine. Clover yelled, Guys! Up on the rim, the Cupid statues were drawing their bows in a firing position. Before I could suggest taking cover, they shot, but not at us. They fired at each other across the rim of the pool. Silky cables trailed from the arrows, arcing over the pool and anchoring where they landed to form a huge golden asterisk. Then smaller metallic threads started weaving together, magically, between the main strands making a net. We have to get out, I said. Duh, Annabeth said. I grabbed the shield and we ran, but going up the slope of the pool was not as easy as going down. Come on, Grover shouted. He was trying to hold open a section of the net for us, but whenever he touched it, the golden thread started to wrap around his hands. The Cupid's head popped open. Out came video cameras. Spotlights rose up all around the pool, blinding us with illumination and a loudspeaker voice booming. Hold on, we gotta find the proper one here. This will be fun trying to find something to fit this. I'm probably not going to find one, so we're just going to go without music on this one. The Cupid's heads popped open. Out came video cameras. Spotlights rose up all around the pool, blinding us with illumination, and a loudspeaker voice boomed. Live to Olympus in 1 minute! 59 seconds! 58! Hephaestus! Annabeth screamed. I'm so stupid! Etta is H! He made this trek to catch his wife with Ares. Now we're going to be broadcast live to Olympus and look like absolute fools. We'd almost made it to the rim when the row of mirrors opened like hatches and thousands of tiny metallic things poured out. Annabeth screamed. It was an army of wind-up creepy crawlies, bronze-gear bodies, spindly legs, fiddle pincer mouths, all scuttling toward us in a wave of clacking, whirring metal. Spiders! Annabeth said. Sp- ah! I'd never seen her like this before. She fell backward in terror and almost got overwhelmed by the spider robots before I pulled her up and dragged her back toward the boat. The things were coming out from all around the rim now, millions of them, flooding toward the center of the pool, completely surrounding us. I told myself they probably weren't programmed to kill, just corral us in, bite us, and make us look stupid. Then again, this was a trap meant for gods, and we weren't gods. Annabeth and I climbed into the boat. I started kicking away the spiders as they swarmed aboard. I yelled at Annabeth to help me, but she was too paralyzed to do much more than scream. 30! 29! Called the loudspeaker. The spiders started spitting out strands of metal thread, trying to tie us down. The strands were easy enough to break at first, but there were so many of them, and the spiders just kept coming. I kicked one away from Annabeth's leg, and its pincers took a chunk out of my new surf shoe. Grover hovered above the pool in his flying sneakers, trying to pull the net loose, but it wouldn't budge. Think, I told myself. Think! The tunnel of love entrance was under the net. We could use it as an exit, except that it was blocked by a million robot spiders. 15! 14! The loudspeaker called. Water, I thought. Where does the ride's water come from? Then I saw them. Huge water pipes behind the mirrors, where the spiders had come from. And up above the net, next to one of the cupids, a glass-windowed booth that must be the controller's station. Grover! I yelled. Get into that booth! Find the on switch! But do it! It was a crazy hope, but it was our only chance. The spiders were all over the prow of the boat now. Annabeth was screaming her head off. I had to get us out of there. Grover was in the controller's booth now, slamming away at the buttons. 5! 4! Grover looked up at me, hopelessly, raising his hands. He was letting me know that he'd pushed every button, but still nothing was happening. I closed my eyes and thought about waves, rushing water, the Mississippi River. I felt a familiar tug in my gut. I tried to imagine that I was dragging the ocean all the way to Denver. 2, 1, 0! Water exploded out of the pipes. It roared into the pool, sweeping away the spiders. I pulled Annabeth into the seat next to me and fastened her seatbelt just as the tidal wave slammed into our boat, over the top, whisking the spiders away and dousing us completely, but not capsizing us. The boat turned, lifted in the flood, and spun in circles around the whirlpool. The water was full of short-circuiting spiders, some of them smashing against the pool's concrete wall with such force they burst. Spotlights glared down at us. The Cupid cams were rolling, live to Olympus. But I could only concentrate on controlling the boat. I wanted to ride the current, to keep away from the wall. Maybe it was my imagination, but the boat seemed to respond. At least it didn't break into a million pieces. We spun around one last time, the water level now almost high enough to shred us against the metal net. Then the boat's nose turned toward the tunnel, and we rocketed through into the darkness. Annabeth and I held tight, both of us screaming as the boat shot curls and hugged corners and took 45-degree plunges, past pictures of Romeo and Juliet and a bunch of other Valentine's Day stuff. Then we were out of the tunnel, the night air whistling through our hair as the boat barreled straight toward the exit. If the ride had been in working order, we would have sailed off a ramp between the golden streets of love and splashed down safely in the exit pool. But there was a problem. The gates of love were chained. Two boats that had been washed out of the tunnel before before us were now piled against the barricade. One submerged, the other cracked in half. Unfasten your seatbelt, I yelled at Annabeth. Are you crazy? Unless you want to get smashed to death. I strapped Ares' shield to my arm. We're gonna have to jump for it. My idea was simple and insane. As the boat struck, we would use its force like a springboard to jump the gate. I'd heard of people surviving car crashes that way, getting thrown 30 or 40 feet away from an accident. With luck, we would land in the pool. Annabeth seemed to understand. She gripped my hand as the gates got closer. On my mark, I said. No! On my mark! What? Simple physics, she yelled. Force times the trajectory angle. Fine, I shouted. On your mark. She hesitated, then yelled, Now! Annabeth was right. If we jumped when I thought we should have, we would have crashed into the gates. She got us maximum lift. Unfortunately, that was a little more than we needed. Our boat smashed into the pileup and we were thrown into the air, straight over the gates, over the pool, and down toward solid asphalt. Something grabbed me from behind. Annabeth yelled, Ouch! Grover! In midair, he had grabbed me by the shirt and Annabeth by the arm and was trying to pull us out of a crash landing, but Annabeth and I had all the momentum. You're too heavy, Grover said. We're going down! We spiraled toward the ground, Grover doing his best to slow the fall. We smashed into a photo board. Grover's head going straight into the hole where tourists would put their faces, pretending to be Nunu the friendly whale. Annabeth and I tumbled to the ground, banged up but alive. Ares' shield was still on my arm. Once we caught our breath, Annabeth and I got Grover out of the photo board and thanked him for saving our lives. I looked back at the thrill ride of love. The water was subsiding. Our boat had been smashed to pieces against the gates. 100 yards away at the entrance pool, the Cupids were still filming. The statues had swiveled so that their cameras were trained straight on us, the spotlights in our faces. Show's over, I yelled. Thank you. Good night. The Cupids turned back toward their original positions. The lights shut off. The park went quiet and dark again, except for the gentle trickle of water into the thrill ride of love's exit pool. I wondered if Olympus had gone to a commercial break or if our ratings had been any good. I hated being teased. I hated being tricked. And I had plenty of experience handling bullies who liked to do that stuff to me. I hefted the shield on my arm and turned to my friends. We need to have a little talk with Ares. Uh-oh. Ares is in trouble. Now that we're back in the restaurant, we're going to go ahead and play the music again. Chapter 16. We take a zebra to Las Vegas. The war god was waiting for us in the diner parking lot. We're still going to play the diner music even if they're outside. Well, he said. You didn't get yourself killed. You knew it was a trap, I said. Ares gave me a wicked grin. Bet that crippled blacksmith was surprised when he netted a couple of stupid kids. You look good on TV. I shoved a shield at him. You're a jerk. Annabeth and Grover caught their breath. Ares grabbed the shield and spun it in the air like pizza dough. It changed form, mounting into a bulletproof vest. He swung it across his back. See that truck over there? He pointed to an 18-wheeler parked across the street from the diner. That's your ride. Take you straight to LA with one stop in Vegas. The 18-wheeler had a sign in the back, which I could read only because it was reverse printed white on black. A good combination for dyslexia. Kindness International. Humane Zoo Transport. Warning. Live wild animals. I said, "You're kidding." Aries snapped his fingers. The back door of the truck unlatched. Free ride west, punk. Stop complaining. And here's a little something for doing the job. He slung a blue nylon backpack off his handlebars and tossed it to me. Inside were fresh clothes for all of us. $20 in cash, a pouch full of golden drachmas, and a bag of double stuffed Oreos. I'm gonna be honest here, I'm gonna be feeling hungry for double stuffed Oreos now. I said, "I don't want your lousy..." "Thank you, Lord Aries," Grover interrupted, giving me his best red alert warning look. "Thanks a lot." I gritted my teeth. It was probably a deadly insult to refuse something from a god, but I didn't want anything that Aries had touched. Reluctantly, I slung the backpack over my shoulder. I knew my anger was being caused by the war god's presence, but I was still itching to punch him in the nose. He reminded me of every bully I'd ever faced. Nancy Bobafit, Clarissa, Smelly Gabe, sarcastic teachers. Every jerk who'd called me stupid in school and laughed at me when I'd gotten expelled. I looked back at the diner, which had only a couple customers now. The waitress who'd served us dinner was watching nervously out the window, like she was afraid Aries might hurt us. She dragged the fry cook out from the kitchen to see. She said something to him. He nodded, held up a little disposable camera, and snapped a picture of us. Great, I thought. We'll make the papers again tomorrow. I imagined the headline, 12-year-old outlaw beats up defenseless biker. You owe me one more thing, I told Aries, trying to keep my voice level. You promised me information about my mother. There's what I'm looking for right here. Let's see, we're about to delve into something here. You promised I kept to keep my voice level. You promised me information about my mother. You sure you can handle the news? He kick-started his motorcycle. She's not dead. The ground seemed to spin beneath me. What do you mean? I mean she was taken away from the Minotaur before she could die. She was turned into a shower of gold, right? That's metamorphosis, not death. She's being kept. Kept? Why? You need to study war, punk. Hostages. You take somebody to control somebody else. Nobody's controlling me. He laughed. Oh yeah? See you around, kid. I balled my fists. You're pretty strong. You're pretty smug, Lord Aries, for a guy who runs from Cupid statues. Behind his sunglasses, his fire glowed. I felt a hot wind in my hair. We'll meet again, Percy Jackson. Next time you're in a fight, watch your back. He rubbed his Harley, then roared off down Delaney Street. Annabeth said, That was nuts, Percy. I don't care. You don't want a god as your enemy, especially not that god. Hey, guys, Grover said. I hate to interrupt, but... He pointed toward the diner. At the register, the last two customers were paying their check. Two men in identical black coveralls with a white logo on their backs that matched the one of the Kindness International truck. If we're taking the Zoo Express, Grover said, we need to hurry. I didn't like it, but we had no better option. Besides, I'd seen enough of Denver. We ran across the street and climbed in the back of the big rig, closing the doors behind us. That sounds like good music for road. You know what? we gotta do this. We gotta do this. Hmm. Hmm. I don't really seem to have. Hmm. Hmm. They actually got. Yeah, let's read the. Let's do the first one. Why not? Nah, it's not good. I can't find good music for this one. There you go. That's better. That's what I was actually looking for here. The first thing that hit me was the smell. It was like the world's biggest pan of kitty litter. The trailer was dark inside until I unpacked Anaclusmus. Anaclusmus. The blade cast a faint bronze light over a very sad scene. Sitting in a row full of filthy metal cages were three of the most pathetic zoo animals I'd ever beheld. A zebra, a male albino lion, and some weird antelope thing I didn't know the name for. Someone had thrown the lion a sack of turnips, which he obviously didn't want to eat. And because lions are not herbivores, they are carnivores. So that would have been more fitting for the zebra. The zebra and the antelope had each gotten a styrofoam tray of hamburger meat. Again, I don't believe anteaters are. Wait, what was it again? Your antelope animal. Yeah, they don't. I don't believe they eat meat either. Lion is the only thing. They got the shit backwards, man. What the. Anyway, the zebra's mane was mateed with chewing gum, like somebody had been spitting on it in their spare time. The antelope had a stupid silver birthday balloon tied to one of his horns that read, "Over the hill!" Apparently, nobody had wanted to get close enough to the lion and mess with him, but the poor thing was pacing around on soiled blankets in a space way too small for him, panting, panting from the stuffy heat of the trailer. He had flies buzzing around his pink eyes, and his ribs showed through his white fur. Hmm. Actually, I'm thinking about it based on what we're seeing. This is kindness? Whoever yelled. Humane zoo transport? He probably would have gone right back outside and beat up the truckers with his reed pipes, and I would have helped him. But just then the truck's engines. The truck engine turned more to life. The trailer started shaking, and we were forced to sit down or fall down. We'd huddled in the corner on some mildewed feed sacks, trying to ignore the smell and the heat and the flies. Grover talked to the animals in a series of goat bleats, but they just stared at him sadly. Annabeth was in favor of breaking the cage and freeing them on the spot, but I pointed out it wouldn't do much good until the truck stopped moving. Besides, I had a feeling we might look a lot better to the lion than those turnips. I found a water jug and refilled their bowls, and used a net cosmos to drag the mismatched food out of their cages. I gave the meat to the lion and the turnips to the zebra and the antelope. Grover calmed the antelope down while Annabeth used her knife to cut the balloon off his horn. She wanted to cut the gum out of the zebra's mane too, but we decided that would be too risky with the truck bumping around. We told Grover to promise the animals we'd help them more in the morning. Then we settled in for the night. Grover curled up on a turnip sack. Annabeth opened our bag of double stuffed Oreos. I'm just going to pause the music to say they misspelled double stuffed Oreos. And nibbled on one half-heartedly. I tried to cheer myself up by concentrating on the fact that we were halfway to Los Angeles. Halfway to our destination. It was only June 14th. The solstice wasn't until the 21st. We could make it in plenty of time. On the other hand, I had no idea what to expect next. The gods kept toying with me. At least, Hephaestus had the decency to be honest about it. He'd put up camera and advertised me as entertainment. But even when the cameras weren't rolling, I had a feeling my quest was being watched. I was a source of amusement for the gods. Hey, Annabeth said. I'm sorry for freaking out back at the water park, Percy. That's okay. It's just... She shuddered. Spiders. Because of the Arachne story, I guess. Hello, Monkey Asbo. Monkey Asbo. I gotta go to bed. Bye. I hope you enjoy. You're the content creator, new sub. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for the subscribe. Hope you have a good rest of your night, a good sleep, and a better tomorrow. If today was not good for you, was not a good one for you. And hello, Naomi. How you doing today? Because of the Arachne story, I guessed. She got turned into a spider for challenging your mom into a weaving contest, right? Annabeth nodded. Arachne's children have been taking revenge on the children of Athena ever since. If there's a spider within a mile of me, it'll find me. I hate the creepy little things. Anyway, I owe you. We're a team, remember? I said. Besides, Grover did the fancy flying. I thought he was asleep, but he mumbled from the corner. I was pretty amazing, wasn't I? Annabeth and I laughed. She pulled apart an Oreo, handed me half. In the iris message, did Luke really say nothing? I munched my cookie and thought about how to answer. The conversation via Rainbow had been bothering me all evening. Luke said you and he go way back. He also said Grover wouldn't fail this time. Nobody would turn into a pine tree. In the dim bronze light of the sword blade, it was hard to read their expressions. Grover let out a mournful bray. I should have told you the truth in the beginning. His voice trembled. I thought if you knew what a failure I was, you wouldn't want me alone. You were the satyr who tried to rescue the Talia, the daughter of Zeus. He nodded glumly. And the other two half-bloods, Talia befriended, the ones who got safely to camp. I looked at Annabeth. That was you and Luke, wasn't it? She put down her Oreo uneaten. Like you said, Percy, a 7-year-old half-blood wouldn't have made it very far alone. Athena guided me toward help. Talia was 12. Luke was 14. They'd both run away from home like me. They were happy to take me with them. They were amazing monster fighters, even without training. We traveled north from Virginia without any real plans, fending off monsters for about 2 weeks before Grover found us. I was supposed to escort Talia to camp, he said, sniffling. Only Talia. I had strict orders from Tyrion. Don't do anything that would slow down the rescue. We knew Hades was after her. See, But I couldn't just leave her. I just couldn't just leave Luke and Annabeth by themselves. I thought I could lead I thought I could lead all three of them to safety. It was my fault the kindly ones caught up with us. I froze. I got scared on the way back to camp and took some wrong turns. If I just been a little quicker. Stop it, Annabeth said. No one blames you. Talia didn't blame you either. She sacrificed herself to save us, he said miserably. Her death was my fault. The Council of Cloven Elders said so. Because you wouldn't leave two other half-bloods behind? I said. That's not fair. Percy's right, Annabeth said. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for you, Grover. Neither would Luke. We don't care what the Council says. Grover kept sniffling in the dark. It's just my luck. I'm the lamest satyr ever, and I find the two most powerful half-bloods of the century, Talia and Percy. You're not lame, Annabeth insisted. You've got more courage than any satyr I've ever met. Name one other who would dare go to the underworld. I bet Percy's really glad you're here right now. She kicked me in the shin. Yeah, I said, which I would have done even without the kick. It's not luck you found Talia and me, Grover. You've got the biggest heart of any satyr ever. You're a natural searcher. That's why you'll be the one who finds Pan. I heard a deep, satisfied sigh. I waited for Grover to say something, but his breathing only got heavier. When the sound turned to snoring, I realized he'd fallen asleep. How does he do that? I marveled. I don't know, Annabeth said, but that was really a nice thing you told him. I meant it. We rode in silence for a few miles, bumping around on the feed sacks. The zebra munched a turnip. The lion licked the last of the hamburger meat off his lips and looked at me hopefully. Annabeth rubbed her necklace like she was thinking deep strategic thoughts. The pine tree bead, I said. Is that from your first year? She looked. She hadn't realized what she was doing. Yeah, she said. Every August, the councilors picked the most important event of the summer, and they painted on that year's beads. I've got Talia's pine tree, a Greek tree on fire, a centaur in a prom dress. Now that was a weird summer. And the college ring is your father's? That's none of your... She stopped herself. Yeah, it is. You don't have to tell me. No, it's okay. She took a shaky breath. My dad sent it to me, folded up in a letter 2 summers ago. The ring was like his main keepsake from Athena. He wouldn't have gotten through his doctoral program at Harvard without her. That's a long story. Anyway, he said he wanted me to have it. He apologized for being a jerk and said he loved me and missed me. He wanted me to come home and live with him. That doesn't sound so bad. Yeah, well, the problem was I believed him. I tried to go home for that school year, but my stepmom was the same as ever. She didn't want her kids put in danger by living with a freak. Monsters attacked, we argued. Monsters attacked, we argued. I didn't even make it through winter break. I called Cheerin and came straight back to Camp Half-Blood. You think you'll ever try living with your dad again? She wouldn't meet my eyes. Please, I'm not into self-inflicted pain. You shouldn't give up, I told her. You should write him a letter or something. Thanks for your advice, she said coldly. But my father's made his choice about what he wants to live with. We passed another few miles of silence. So if the gods fight, I said, will things line up the way they did with the Trojan War? Will it be Athena versus Poseidon? She put her head against the backpack Ares had given us and closed her eyes. I don't know what my mom will do. I just know I'll fight next to you. Why? Because you're my friend, Seaweed Brain. Any other stupid questions? I don't think of an answer for that. Fortunately, I didn't have to. Annabeth was asleep. I had trouble following her example with Rover snoring as an albino lion staring hungrily at me, but eventually I closed my eyes. Because of where we're about to go here, I didn't mean to do that. My nightmare started out as something I'd dreamed a million times before. I was being forced to take a standardized test while wearing a straitjacket. All the other kids were going out to recess, and the teacher kept saying, "Come on, Percy. You're not stupid, are you? Pick up your pencil." Then the dream strayed from the usual. I looked over at the next desk and saw a girl sitting there, wearing a straitjacket. She was my age, with unruly black punk-styled hair, dark eyeliner around her stormy green eyes, and freckles across her nose. Somehow I knew who she was. She was Talia, daughter of Zeus. She struggled against the straitjacket, glared at me in frustration, and snapped, "Well, Seaweed Brain, one of us has to get out of here." She's right, my dream self thought. I'm going back to that cavern. I'm going to give Hades a piece of my mind. The straitjacket melted off me. I fell through the classroom floor. The teacher's voice changed until it was cold and evil, echoing from the depths of a great chasm. "Percy Jackson," it said. "Yes, the exchange went well, I see." I went back in the dark cavern, spirits of the dead drifting around me. Unseen in the pits, a monstrous thing was speaking, but this time it wasn't addressing me. The the numbing power of its voice seemed directed somewhere else. "And he suspects nothing?" it asked. Another voice, one I almost recognized, answered at my shoulder. "Nothing, my lord. He is as ignorant as the rest." I looked over, but no one was there. The speaker was invisible. Was invisible. Deceptions upon deception. The thing in the pit mused aloud. "Excellent." "Truly, my lord," said the voice next to me. You are well named the Crooked One. But was it really necessary? I could have brought you what I stole directly." "You?" the monster said in scorn. "You have already shown your limits. You would have failed me completely had I not intervened." "But my lord, peace, little servant. Our 6 months have brought us much. Zeus's anger has grown. Poseidon has played his most desperate card. Now we shall use it against him. Surely you shall have the reward you seek in your revenge. Soon as both items are delivered into my hands." "But wait, he's here." "What?" The invisible servant suddenly sounded tense. "You summoned him, my lord?" "No." The full force of the monster's attention was now pouring over me, freezing me in place. "Blast his father's blood. He is too cha- he is too changeable, too unpredictable. The boy brought himself hither." "Impossible!" the servant cried. "For a weakling such as you, perhaps," the voice snarled. Then its cold power turned back on me. "So, You wish to dream of your quest, young half-blood? Then I will oblige. The scene changed. I was standing in a vast throne room with black marble walls and bronze floors. The empty, horrid throne was made from human bones fused together. Standing at the foot of the dais was my mother, frozen in shimmering golden light, her arms outstretched. I tried to reach toward her, but my legs wouldn't move. Hold on, my hand is. Hold on a second, my hand is all kinds of. But I get some more feeling in my hand, my fingers, because it's kind of going crazy right now. Alright, there we go. I think we got enough of it. I tried to step toward her, but my legs wouldn't move. I reached for her only to realize that my hands were withering to bones. Grinning skeletons in Greek armor crowded around me, draping me with silk robes, wreathing my head with laurels in the smoke that smoked with chimera poison, burning into my scalp. The evil voice began to laugh. Hail the conquering hero! I woke with a start. Grover was shaking my shoulder. The truck stopped, he said. We think they're coming to check on the animals. Hide! Hide! Annabeth hissed. She had it easy. She just put on her magic cap and disappeared. Grover and I had to dive behind feed sacks and hope we looked like turnips. The trailer doors creaked open. Sunlight and heat poured in. Man, one of the truckers said, waving his hand in front of his ugly nose. I wish I had appliances. He climbed inside and poured some water from the jug into the animals' dishes. You are, big boy? He asked the lion, then splashed the rest of the bucket right into the lion's face. The lion roared in indignation. Yeah, the man said. Next to me, under the turnip sacks, Grover tensed. For a peace-loving herbivore, he looked downright murderous. The trucker threw the antelope a squashed-looking Happy Meal bag. He smirked at the zebra. How you doing, Straps? At least we'll be getting rid of you this stop. You like magic shows? You're gonna love this one. They're gonna saw you in half. Hello, Helen. How you doing tonight? That was a very bad time to stop reading. But hello, Helen. How you doing tonight? How you doing today? The zebra, wide-eyed with fear, looked straight at me. There was no sound, but as clear as day I heard it say, free me, Lord. Please. I was too stunned to react. There was a loud knock, knock, knock. Hold on, let me do this. Hold on. There was a loud on the side of the trailer. The trucker inside with us yelled, What do you want, Eddie? A voice outside, it must have been Eddie's, shouted back, Maurice, what'd you say? What are you banging for? Outside, Eddie yelled, What banging? Our guy, Maurice, rolled his eyes and went back outside, cursing at Eddie for being an idiot. A second later, Annabeth appeared next to me. She must have done the banging to get Maurice out of the trailer. She said, This transport business can't be illegal. No kidding, Grover said. He paused as if listening. The lion says these guys are animal smugglers. That's right, the zebra's voice said in... That's right, the zebra's voice said in my mind. We've got to free them, Grover said. He and Annabeth both looked at me, waiting for my lead. I'd heard the zebra talk, but not the lion. Why? Maybe because it was another learning disability. I could only understand zebras? Then I thought, horses. What had Annabeth said about Poseidon creating horses? Was a zebra close enough to a horse? Was that why I could understand it? The zebra said, "Open my cage, Lord. Please, I'll be free after that." Outside, Eddie and Maurice were still yelling at each other, but I knew they'd be coming inside to torment the animals again any minute. I grabbed Riptide and slashed the lock off the zebra's cage. The zebra burst out. It turned to me and bowed. "Thank you, Lord." Grover held up his hands and said something to the zebra in goat talk, like a blessing. Just as Maurice was poking his head back inside to check out the noise, the zebra leaped over him and into the street. There was yelling and screaming and cars honking. We rushed to the doors of the trailer in time to see the zebra galloping down a wide boulevard lined with hotels and casinos and neon signs. We'd just released a zebra in Vegas. Maurice and Eddie ran after him, with a few policemen running after them, shouting, "Hey! You need a permit for that!" "Now would be a good time to leave," Annabeth said. "The other animals first," Grover said. I cut the loss with my sword. Grover raised his hands and spoke the same goat blessing he'd used for the zebra. "Good luck," I told the animals. The antelope and the lion burst out of their cages and went off together into the streets. Some tourists screamed. Most just backed off and took pictures, probably thinking it was some kind of stunt by one of the casinos. "Will the animals be okay?" I asked Grover. "I mean, the desert and all, don't worry," he said. "I placed a satyr sanctuary on them." Meaning? "Meaning they'll reach the wild safely," he said. "They'll find water, food, shade, and whatever they need until they find a safe place to live." "Why can't you place a blessing like that on us?" I asked. "It only works on wild animals." "So it only affects Percy," Annabeth reasoned. "Hey!" I protested. "Kidding," she said. "Come on, let's get out of this filthy truck." We stumbled out into the desert afternoon. It was 110 degrees easy, and we must have looked like deep-fried vagrants, but everybody was too interested in the wild animals to pay us much attention. Since they're in Las Vegas now, we gotta play it. We passed the Monte Carlo and the MGM. We passed pyramids, a pirate ship, and the Statue of Liberty, which was a pretty small replica, but still made me homesick. I wasn't sure what we were looking for. Maybe just a place to get out of the heat for a few minutes, find a sandwich and a glass of lemonade, make a new plan for getting west. We must have taken a wrong turn because we found ourselves at a dead end, standing in front of the Lotus Hotel and Casino. The entrance was a huge neon flower, the petals lighting up and blinking. No one was going in or out, but the glittering drone doors were open, spilling out air conditioning that smelled like flowers. Lotus blossom, maybe? I'd never smelled one, so I wasn't sure. Actually, hold on a second. I'm actually going to do something real quick. I'm going to get me something to drink because I just want to get me something to drink real quick. I'll be right back and we'll continue where we left off with that. Just give me one quick second. Hey, I'm good. And you? I'm doing pretty good, Helen. Thank you for asking. In case you wonder what I just kicked, that was just a bag of chips that I touched with my big toe. Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, sorry. I forgot where I put it. Alright, so I got me a glass of tea. Cause I'm a tea lover. I love drinking tea. I don't know if it's tea time over in the UK. Probably not. But yeah, I love drinking tea. I think I get that from my British ancestors. Because I do love tea that much. To be fair, I think the British is usually associated with tea some at times. One of the few things that they're associated with. And anyway, I was putting on the wrong page. The doorman smiled at us. Hey kids, you look tired. You want to come in and sit down? I've learned to be suspicious the last week or so. I figured anybody might be a monster or a god. You just couldn't tell. But this guy was normal. One look at him and I could see. Besides, I was so relieved to hear somebody who sounded sympathetic that I nodded and said we'd love to come in. Inside we took one look around and Grover said, Whoa! The whole lobby was a giant game room. And I'm not talking about cheesy old Pac-Man. Hmm. Can we get a good one here? I don't know. Let's see. That's better. The whole lobby was a giant game room. And I'm not talking about cheesy old Pac-Man games or slot machines. There was an indoor water slide snaking around the glass elevator, which went straight up at least 40 floors. There was a climbing wall on the side of one building and an outdoor bungee jumping bridge. There were virtual reality suits with working laser guns and hundreds of video games, each one the same as the size of a widescreen TV. Basically, you name it, this place had it. There was a few other kids playing, but not that many. No waiting for any of the games. There were waitresses and snack bars all around, serving every kind of food you can imagine. Hey, a bellhop said, and at least I guessed he was a bellhop. He wore a white and yellow Hawaiian shirt and a Hawaiian shirt with Lotus designs, shorts and flip-flops. Welcome to the Lotus Casino. Here's your room key. I stammered. Um, but no, he said, laughing. The bill's taken care of. No extra charges, no tips. Just go on the top. Just go on top to the top floor, room 4001. If you need anything like extra bubbles for the hot tub or sleep targets for the shooting range or whatever, just call the front desk. Here are your Lotus cash cards. They work in the restaurants and on all the games and rides. He handed us each a green plastic credit card. I knew there must be some mistake. Obviously, he thought we were some millionaire's kids. But I took the card and said, "How much is on here?" His eyebrows knit together. What do you mean? I mean, hmm. Let's see here. Oh, jeez, that music. We're not playing that. He laughed. Oh, you're making a joke. Yeah, that's cool. Enjoy your stay. We took the elevator upstairs and checked out our room. It was a suite with 3 separate bedrooms and a bar stocked with candy, sodas, and chips. A hotline to room service. Fluffy towels and water beds with feather pillows. A big screen. A big. Excuse me. A big screen television with satellite and high speed internet. The balcony had its own hot tub, and sure enough, there was a skeet shooting machine and a shotgun so you could launch clay pigeons right out over Las Vegas' skyline and plug them with your gun. I didn't see how that could be legal, but I thought it was pretty cool. The view over the strip and the desert was amazing, though I doubted we'd ever find time to look at the view with a room like this. Oh goodness, Annabeth said. This place is sweet, Grover said. Absolutely sweet. There were clothes in the closet and they fit me. I frowned, thinking that this was a little strange. I threw Aries' backpack in the trash can. Wouldn't need that anymore. When we left, I could just change a new one at the hotel store. I took a shower, which felt awesome after a week of grimy travel. I changed clothes, ate a bag of chips, drank 3 Cokes, and came out feeling better than I had in a long time. In the back of my mind, some small problem kept nagging me. I'd had a dream or something. I needed to talk to my friends, but I was sure it could wait. Sorry about the background noise. No one remembers listening to TV and they're taking a nap in there, out there. I came out of the bedroom and found that Annabeth and Grover had also showered and changed clothes. Grover was eating potato chips to his heart's content, while Annabeth cranked up the National Geographic channel. All those stations, I told her. And you're turned on National Geographic? Are you insane? It's interesting. I feel good, Grover said. I love this place. Without his even realizing it, the wings sprouted out from his shoes and lifted him a foot off the ground and then back down again. So what now? Annabeth asked. Sleep? Grover and I looked at each other and grinned. We both had up our green plastic Lotus cash cards. Playtime, I said. I couldn't remember the last time I had so much fun. I came from a relatively poor family. Our idea of a splurge was eating out at Burger King and renting a video. A 5-star Vegas hotel? Forget it. I bungee jumped in the lobby 5 or 6 times, did the water slide, snowboarded the artificial ski slope, and played virtual reality laser tag in FBI sharpshooter. I saw Grover a few times going from game to game. He really liked the reverse hunter thing, where the deer go out and shoot the rednecks. I saw Annabeth playing trivia games and other brainiac stuff. They had this huge 3D sim game where you build your own city and you could actually see the holographic buildings rise on the display board. I didn't think much of it, but Annabeth loved it. I'm not sure when I first realized something was wrong. Probably it was when I noticed the guy standing next to me at the VR sharpshooters. He was about 13. I guess, but his clothes were weird. I thought he was some Elvis impersonator's son. He wore bell-bottom jeans and a tight red t-shirt with black piping, and his hair was permed and gelled like the New Jersey girls on homecoming night. We played a game of sharpshooters together, and he said, "Groovy, man. Been here 2 weeks and the games keep getting better and better." Groovy? Later, while we were talking, I said something was sick, and he looked at me kind of startled as if he'd never heard the word used that way before. He said his name was Darren, but as soon as I started asking him questions, he got bored with me and started to go back to the computer screen. I said, "Hey, Darren." "What? What year is it?" He frowned at me. "In the game?" "No, in real life." He had to think about it. 1977? "No," I said, getting a little scared. "Really?" "Hey man, bad vibes. I got a game happening." After that, he totally ignored me. I started talking to people and I found wasn't easy. They were glued to the TV screen or the video game or their food or whatever. I found a guy who told me it was 1985. Another guy told me it was 1993. They all claimed they hadn't been here very long. A few days, a few weeks at most. They didn't really know and they didn't care. Then it occurred to me how long then it occurred to me. How long had I been here? It seemed like only a couple of hours, but was it? I tried to remember why we were here. We were going to Los Angeles. We were supposed to find the entrance to the underworld. My mother, for a very second, I had trouble remembering her name. Sally. Sally Jackson. I had to find her. I had to stop Hades from causing World War III. I found Annabeth still building her city. "Come on," I told her. "We're going to get out of here." No response. I shook her. "Annabeth?" She looked up annoyed. "What?" "We need to leave." "Leave? What are you talking about? I just thought this place is a trap." She didn't respond until I shook her again. "What?" "Listen, the underworld. Our quest." "Oh, come on, Percy, just a few more minutes." "Annabeth, there are people here from 1977. Kids who have never aged. You check in and you stay forever." "So?" she asked. "Can you imagine a better place?" I grabbed her wrist and yanked her away from the game. "Hey!" She screamed and hit me, but nobody else even bothered looking at us. They were too busy. I made her look directly in my eyes. I said, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna do something here. Hold on a second. Let me know where that stopped at so then I can read. Like where it cut off, because then I can read that part again if it cut off somewhere else. But meanwhile, I gotta charge up my phone real quick. Give me a second." Alright. Hello, Gary. How you doing tonight? As well as Charlie T. Taya or T. How you doing tonight? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if it Yeah, I don't know if it just Charlie is fine. I'm doing pretty good today. It was good to hear, Charlie. Good to hear you're doing good. I'm gonna answer my question though. I can't check for myself, but I wanted to know if my phone may have caused me to skip some. So that way, like, goes for me on, like, something like, I started talking to people, and then going on and way over, like, she didn't respond until I shook her again. I wanted to know just in case I got, like, there was any kind of skip, or what would sound like a skip. That's the problem. I don't know if I did or not, because I don't have a phone to tell me. I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and read the top of the page again. So that way, the thing is probably that far back because it was probably that far back when I seen it. So I'll read the top of the page again. I shook her. Annabeth? She looked up annoyed. What? We need to leave. Leave? What are you talking about? I just got the towers. This place is a trap. She didn't respond until I shook her again. What? Listen. The underworld. Our quest. Oh, come on, Percy. Just a few more minutes. Annabeth, there are people here from 1977. Kids who have never aged. You check in and you stay forever. So? She asked. Can you imagine a better place? I grabbed her wrist and yanked her away from the game. Hey! She screamed and hit me, but nobody else even bothered to looking at us. They were too busy. I made her look directly in my eyes. I said, spiders. Large, hairy spiders. That jarred her. Her vision cleared. Oh my gods, she said. How long have we... I don't know, but we've got to find Grover. We went searching and found him still playing virtual deer hunter. Grover! We shouted. He said, die, human! Die, silly polluted nasty person! Grover! He turned the plastic gun on me and started clicking as if I were just another image from the screen. I looked at Annabeth, and together we took Grover by the arms and dragged him away. His flying shoes sprang to life and started tugging his legs into the other direction as he shouted, no! I just want to get to a new level! No! The Lotus bellhop hurried up to us. Well now, are you ready for your platinum cards? We're leaving, I told him. Such a shame, he said, and I got the feeling that he really meant it, that we'd be breaking his heart if we went. We just added an entire new floor full of games for platinum card members. He held out the cards and I wanted one. I knew that if I took one, I'd never leave. I'd stay here, happy forever, playing games forever, and soon I'd forget my mom and my quest, and maybe even my own name. I'd be playing virtual rifleman with groovy disco Darren forever. Grover reached for the card, but Annabeth yanked back his arm and said, no thanks. We walked toward the door, and as we did, the smell of the food and the sounds of the game seemed to get more and more inviting. I thought about our room upstairs. We could just stay the night, sleep in a real bed for once. Then we burst through the doors of the Lotus Casino and ran down the sidewalk. Like afternoon, about the same time of day, we'd gone into the casino, but something was wrong. The weather had completely changed. It was stormy, with heat lightning and flashing loud in the desert. Harry's backpack was slung over my shoulder, which was odd because I was sure I had thrown it in the trash can at room 4001, but at that moment I had other problems to worry about. I ran to the nearest newspaper stand and read the year first. Thanks to gods it was the same year as it had been when we went in. Then I noticed the date. June 20th. We had been at the Lotus Casino for 5 days. We had only 1 day left until the summer solstice. 1 day to complete our quest. Oh, shoot. Alright. So, I am going to go ahead and do what I was going to do last night. I'll tell you what. Right now, I will go ahead and take a little breather from reading. Take a little break. And then later, within the next few hours. I will go back to reading the book, chapters 17, 18, and 19. I also could read 20 to 22, but we'll see how that goes. But in any case, I love the series so much. I've only read the first book so far, Charlie, but I am enjoying it as well. But don't fret in case you're wondering, because we got book number 2 over here. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's probably like right here in this area somewhere. But yeah, so of course, take a break. Yeah, like I said, I'll be back here in a few hours to do this. But before we go, I'm gonna need to do something real quick. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, I was gonna say. Let's see who we got. First off, I should probably put it to where I can see everything here. If you guys want, we could go for a raid. Now, if you guys do not know what a raid is, it is where I take a YouTuber's a link to a YouTuber's live stream. I go to my own thing here because I have to put it in the chat for anybody that wants to do this. And then I put the link in the chat, and then we go raid the person with a hashtag. For an example, here's a link to a friend of mine that I wanted to raid. This is to a friend of mine named Grande Gamer. He is streaming The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening blind playthrough, first time playing the game. So no backseating if you're gonna do that. There's the link. But before you go over there, you need the hashtag. So we'll do hashtag Forest Raid. Well, actually, let's do hashtag Forest Reading Raid. We'll do Forest Reading Raid, because that's what we were doing. So hashtag Forest Reading Raid in his chat. Do not spam it, because I don't think he likes spam. He doesn't like spamming. So don't spam it, just say it once. That's all you need to do. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tonight I'll be going back live with more Percy Jackson. Reading either 17 through 19 or the whole rest of the book. Because we're not too far off from the end. But we'll see what happens. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, this is Force Whirlpool, signing off.